bring some free market forces into college. Can you imagine if everybody got government loans to buy cell phones, how expensive cell phones would be right now? Why are they so cheap? Because the capitalist system brought the price down. You know, well, you don't get a government loan. So wherever the government is involved, same thing with healthcare.
All right, you all, quick live stream, quick live stream. I'm not even on. Let me fix my hair. It's kind of look different. My live stream is different. I'm not on my StreamYard, so I cannot share my screen. But I do want to tell you, I'll come in, hit that thumbs up, hit that share button as well. And I want to remind you all that this is a different angle for me. This look different. I don't even know what camera is showing, right? But this is different. I do want to remind you all that Shamita is coming. I've been up studying some things on my laptop, and I decided to hit the go live button. Listening to Peter Schiff, and he said everyone is going to be wiped out in 30 days, but it's not due to inflation. It's going to be due because it's coming in the fall months. Different crops, right, are produced. Different crops have to be grown in the fall months. And again, you all already know that I believe that this is systematic. It is created just like every other recession. And whether you decide to participate in or not, you may have family members that are affected by this, or even friends that are affected by this. So be prepared. Not if not for yourself, for your friends and for your loved ones, right? And so I'm breaking down a lot of things. Shemitah year is in, or it ends on September 26th, which is my birthday. And looking at the gematria calculator of the date calculator, right? Between today, which is about to end in about 5 minutes Eastern Standard Time anyway, but I still have 5 minutes. Today is 9/4, right? 9/4, which we know September means sept, S-E-P-T, which means 7, right? However, it's exactly 22 days until 9/26. So exactly 22 days. I wish I was on my StreamYard where I could show you all the screen. And people, guess what? September 26th is the 269th day of the year. Now, when September 26th arrives, when it gets here, again, my birthday, woohoo, and it's going to be exactly 96 days left in the year, right? So 269th day of the year, and it's going to be exactly 96 days left in the year. So I know what the number 9 means, right? It means a completion, like a woman that's have completed her birth cycle, right? The number 9 means so many things. I've broken down to you all before that if I took your age and your birth date, including the year, it will all equal or it come out to the number 9, right? This is someone's birthday that was 37, and their birthday was July the 18th, 1985. So it's the number 9 is the meaning of finality. Christ died at hour 9 or 3 p.m. to make the way of salvation to open to everyone. And people, reason why I'm saying this because this is going to be a wealth transfer, right? Hello. Good evening. Thank you for your time. The notification worked tonight. Okay, this is something different, right? But hit that like button. I see Lisa. So, I'm doing it different from my StreamYard. And let me see. And yeah, I really want this to be a live. I don't know what setting I have it on. I'll look after I upload the live stream, but I cannot share But Christ died at the ninth hour, or 3 p.m. You saw the 369, but again, it's his 269, right? To make the way of salvation for everyone. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people is going to get religified right here. And this is not a religious saying that, the way is going to be made for everyone. I want to be honest with you and tell you the way is going to be made for people that's prepared, right? Most definitely. Thank you so much. It's a love thing. Thank you all. Let me see can I highlight comments? No, I don't think I can highlight them like I could on StreamYard. But the salvation is going to be open for those persons who are prepared. I'll be just straight up and honest with you. For those people, those persons who are prepared is going to open the way. I know people have this concept that, and the Bible is not even a religious book, but they have been taught religiously and they think in religious terms, meaning that they expect something to happen with little or no effort on their behalf at all. And that's not what the Bible says. I want you to go and read about the food famine. I'm talking about you're going to see a different transfer of crops and foods available. And I want you to look at Joseph, who is an Old Testament example of God. And I want you to tell me, what did Joseph do? Someone left a comment on one of my videos that that Joseph had faith, and I said, no, you did not read the Bible. You can't be a Bible reader. And a lot of times people just go off of what they hear some preachers say, and a lot of times preachers don't study the Bible. Preachers don't study. You don't know. Your preachers don't study and read the Bible thoroughly. But if we go into Genesis 41, when the famine had spread over the entire country, Joseph opened the storehouses and sold. Now, listen at the key word: sold. Did not say he had faith. Joseph was very successful during a food crisis, and he sold to the Egyptians, for the famine was very severe throughout Egypt. Now, in fact, Genesis 14, 47 and 14 says, Joseph collected all the money that was to be found in Egypt and Canaan in payment for the grain that they were buying. And they brought it to Pharaoh's place. He collected money. The Egyptian said, give us food. Why should we die before your eyes? And then, in fact, the Egyptians told him that we've run out of funds, right? And so when all the money of the people of Egypt was gone and Canaan was gone, Egypt came to Joseph and said, give us food. Why should we die before your eyes? Joseph did not have a mindset of giving something for free. I know this is going to hurt a lot of religious people. I'm reading right from Genesis 47:16. Go fact check it, read it for yourself. Then Joseph said, okay, you ran out of money. Go bring me your livestock. In a lot of, in today's terminology, we would call that cutthroat. So Joseph replied, since your money is gone, bring me your livestock and I will exchange you food for livestock. Then he started taking their livestock. So they brought livestock. He gave food in exchange for their horses, their sheep and goats, cattle and donkeys. He brought them through the year with food in exchange for all their livestock. And this is my thing. This is what I'm telling you all. Because Joseph knew how to manage and sell in a recession, he was successful. This is a wealth transfer. The people that know how to manage is, a lot of times people say, oh, Queen, I don't like to sell. I don't know why you don't like to sell, because there's people that's going to be struggling that you should share financial services with. Selling is offering people a solution to problems that need it and can afford it. Oftentimes, people are trying to convince people to do something. I don't convince anyone to do anything, right? I tell people the truth and I let them make a decision. For example, our birth certificate number, it was sold as a bond. It was sold for bond money for what you will make for the government, for what money you will make for the government later in taxes. Our Social Security number was sold as bond money for what you will make later on in the government in taxes. I broke down the number 9. Divine completeness, the meaning of finality, your 9-digit Social Security number. But if people continue to want to, right, Darryle, we've been selling all our lives. People have been going, when they went to Popeye's Chicken, they was advertising going live, staying in the Popeyes drive-through, going live streaming. Man, this chicken so good. But when it comes to doing something that's going to increase your monetary status to last you through a recession, you let the reptilian part, your pituitary brain, the cartoon used to show you the yin and the yang. It used to show you back in the day that a bad angel would be on this shoulder and a good angel. Like, what do you all think in Genesis, in verse 2, Genesis chapter 1 and verse 2, that it meant that there was a lesser light to rule the day and a darker night to rule the night? It was not talking about the sun and moon. The sun and moon wasn't brought into the equation to Genesis 1 and 16. Go back and read Genesis 1, look at verse 2. It means that people will either, and the Bible says, whatever you yield your conscience to. So whatever you believe is going to happen for you. The Bible says, as a man thinketh, that so is he. So if you operate out of faith and step out and start a business in this recession, you can improve your financial state. If you operate in fear and tell yourself the lie that you can't sell, again, you've been selling your whole life, right? If you wanted someone to go out and buy that big screen television that you were just upgraded to, you would have no problem telling your friends and family about that. If you wanted somebody to go travel with you to a football game, you wouldn't have a problem convincing your friends and family to join you, or a sporting event. It's about what do you want to do and what decisions you want to make. So Joseph sold, and during this recession, now people would say that, these religious people nowadays would say that is so wrong. Why would he take out livestock? Why would he take all his money? The people that can successfully manage money and sell, whether you want to call it sell or not, I just say, like Jesus said, tell people the good news, are going to be prosperous. In fact, Proverbs 11 and 26, this is another secret of King Solomon. People curse the one who hoards the grain, right? People curse the one who hoards the grain, but they pray God's blessing on the one who is willing to sell. Let me read this to you in ESV version. The people curse him who holds back the grain, but a blessing is on the head of him who sells it. Sells the grain. So people, I'm just telling you there's some big changes coming. I think I was breaking down. I got off topic. I got into the Bible. I love it. 269, 96 days, September 26th. Also my birthday. Shout out to Libra Nation. Right? The balance scales are coming. The wealth transfer is shifting. It's shifting. Those who successfully know how to sell and have a business entity, the Bible says, Luke 19 and 13, to do business until I return. Nothing wrong with a job if you're going to use your income from your job to finance the business. Right? Nothing wrong with work. The Bible says a man that does not work should not eat. However, after all of this exposed knowledge, if you continue to want to make money under your Social Security number, knowing it's the high highest tax bracket that you can make money on, that's your decision. What I am introducing you to is a home-based business with 470 tax deductions. So you won't be taxed like a slave by making money under your Social Security number. So you can be taxed like a corporation, because a lot of people have it twisted and think the United States is a country. No, United States is a corporation, and they do business as such, right? I was just in a Millionaire Mastermind meeting. Let me share some of these notes with you all from this meeting. And it's talking about creating even more tax shelters to the point where you can make more money and pay less taxes. See, oftentimes the poor working class, they make little money to get $12,000 tax return, only for this year to be broke again. So they make a little money and they want large tax refunds. But a person with a rich and wealthy mindset wants to make a whole lot of money, right? And either break even with the IRS or get small tax refund. They want to keep their money throughout the year. So we were talking about the cheat code of economics, right? The Millionaire Mastermind tonight. And I'm maybe I shouldn't even share it with you, but I'm gonna share it with you, some of it. The cheat code of economics. What is a cheat code? A cheat code advances you to one level, to the next level, advances you to one level of the next automatically. That's a cheat code. Automatically, by doing one thing, one chess move. Again, this is chess and not checkers. It advances you to the next level automatically. What is a loophole? A lot of people say there's no such thing as tax loophole. What Donald Trump is doing or did is illegal. No, they didn't give you the cheat. They didn't give you the cheat code. They don't want you to know it. That's why it wasn't released. I'm not talking about Martha Stewart, Wesley Snipes, tax evasion. These are legal tax maximization write-offs. Now, why is this important? Because people that earn money under their Social Security number or even a small-based business, you are taxed the most. You're taxed the most. And this is why budgeting don't work. Because you've been budgeting, but you can't budget broke. Listen, people, if you had a piece of cake and I took 1/3 of that cake off the top, and you have you and your family and 4 kids to feed, and all I'm telling you is continue to downsize that cake, wouldn't giving you 1/3 of that back help first? But most Americans, what they try to do is downsize without getting the knowledge and the loopholes to get the 1/3 back. That'll give them a bigger portion to work with. So loopholes is a way to get around the average person. It is written in the tax code and it is not illegal. Let me say that again. The way to get around the average person that the average people don't know. Again, this is sacred knowledge. I probably shouldn't be sharing it, but it's written in the tax code and it's not illegal. What is a wormhole? A wormhole is a dimension between where you are and where you want to go. See, my wormhole, for example, is investing in cryptocurrency because it shortens the distance or my dimension of my multimillionaire date. So what I do is I legally pay less in taxes, create cash flow in my life, and then I invest in assets. Let me tell you why getting out of debt is not your very first thing that you should be focused on financially. Right? Let me tell you why. This should not be, if you are at home plate and you are swinging a bat. Let me tell you why this should not be your goal. Getting to first base, because everybody that works for the government cash or fiat system, you're getting accumulating more debt. The dollar is a debt-based paper monopoly money. In 1971, when the dollar was not backed by God's money and constitutional money, it became debt. In other words, it only became a paper, it became a paper transaction, what you can do with plastic, with credit card. It's only a line of credit. Credit cards are not backed by anything. The dollar, so what that means for the dollar is it makes it depreciate, it loses its purchasing power. So when you work for debt and you don't take that cash and invest it in assets that's going to offset, I talk about the Libra coin, that's going to offset, it's depreciating, you have an asset that's increasing. When you don't put dollar into assets and when you only work for the debt dollar, you're not, and when you don't know how to get maximize money and you're giving the government a third of your taxes, you're going to be financially struggling. You're not going to have extra money to invest. And until you learn how to invest in assets that's going to outpace inflation and the depreciating dollar, you're going to be spinning your wheels. You're going to be in a continuous rat race. And as Warren Buffett says, you're going to work until you die. What happens on the 26th is that Shemitah year. You can Google that. Shemitah year means, other than my birthday, but Shemitah year means that it is the end of a cycle. This is when Jubilee year comes in. When Shemitah year happens biblically on the calendar, the bottom out of the economy will fall out. In fact, if you add 9, 26, 20 plus 22, it equals 77. Shemitah year lasts 7, it's a 7-year cycle in which the economy resets itself. In the Bible, it's called 7 years of famine and 7 years of prosperity. That's what I talked about. What Joseph did in famine. Joseph is an Old Testament Jesus. So when you see a double 77, it has a special meaning. I told you September, sept means 7 anyway in the Bible calendar. So now, when Noah, for example, he determined the status of the water after the great flood, he sent out a raven and later a dove from the ark. This is in Genesis as well. The dove returned without any symbol of life. But 7 days later, he resent the dove. This is the time when the dove then returned with the olive leaf, saying that the waters were almost completely subsided. And then he waited another 7 days. So we had a double 77. And the ground, the dove, this time the dove did not return. It meant that the ground was dry enough, right? So it's a time period, a duration of time. In fact, God said, I will send the rainbow as a warning, a sign, which has 7 colors in the rainbow, that I will never again destroy the earth through a flood. But right now, in Jackson, Mississippi, for example, a lot of people are having water problems. And we got OPEC that's meeting September tomorrow on a holiday, right? That's going to determine if they're going to reduce the amount of oil they're supplying to the United States, which is going to affect the gas prices. Also, there's a hurricane brewing, if you all been paying attention, which will also affect gas prices. So Pharaoh, right, the double 77 symbolizes a 7-year period, followed by plenty, 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. Right? So that means, people, we've had a very prosperous economy. I tell people all the time, the presidents does not determine your pay, but they do determine the economy. We've had a prosperous economy. People should be preparing, right? People should have been prospering, taking that money and taking it into assets. That's right. Darryle says cash, asset, cash. Darryle, you must be in the home-based business. Just don't let linear money be your right. How can linear money be your only money when we are in a vertical environment, meaning gas prices up and down, up and down, grocery prices are escalating. So why would you have a linear income? And so 7-year period followed by famine. So Shemitah biblically, right, means that the 7-year transition of famine is coming in. Study the history about it. The number 7 is the foundation of God's word, right? It's a perfection of both the physical and the spiritual. It also means a completeness and perfection. Because on the 7th day, God rested. That means to bankrupt. That means to crash. So many people were happy about a wealth transfer. They were happy. You seeing debt jubilee, you seeing student loans payment. But oftentimes what people don't understand that eradication of debt for some could mean foreclosures. You don't have a mortgage note anymore, but you don't have an asset. Right? And people, I'm preparing you. I'm not trying to scare you at all. I'm just telling you. Because the elite speak in numbers and code. This is why I love cryptocurrency, because that's all crypto is. Understanding the numbers and the codes. That's all cryptocurrency is. So 9/26/2022 equals 77. It's going to be the 269th day of the year. And then it's going to mark 96 days left. So 96 days left, people. Now, 69, I'm not talking about the sex position, but 69 in the Bible means as above, so below. A reversal of a spiritual timing that's set in the spirit realm that will happen in the physical realm. That's what 6 + 1 means too, with 7. The first 6 days, God did physical work. He did things in creation. He created, manifested in Genesis, physical things. Us, humans, beasts, land, sea, right? Sun, moon, stars. But on the last day, the 7th day, he did the spiritual work. Oftentimes, religious people want to do the spiritual work and they don't want to do the work in the natural, where they need to learn about government money and government law. So 269, 96, you're going to see the reversal. As above, so below. What's ordained to happen in the spirit will happen in the earth realm. And no, I don't think a rapture is going to come, right? At all. This is recession, depression as compared to 1933. Now, I'm just telling it to you by the numbers and the decoding of the Bible. Number 69 represents chaos and confusion. The Roman Empire, after Nero became the first empire to commit suicide, but this was actually on June 9th. His death ushered in a period of chaos and confusion. Right? So 69 can be a reverse of chaos and confusion that's coming in as well. 11, Genesis 11 talks about chaos and confusion as well. They built the tower, right? God didn't want that tower built. He came, and actually read Genesis 11, it said gods, plural, not just God, right? But that's a whole nother topic. Did not want the tower built. He came in, disrupted by bringing in a different language. Different language, Genesis 11 as well, a different currency system, people. That's what Genesis 11 represents. The Tower of Babel, a different currency system. So, all I'm saying is prepare, right? Um, Prepare. This is going to be a wealth transfer. There's going to be people that's happy about the Jubilee and people that's going to be more impoverished. 269 was ordained spiritually is going to take place in this earth realm. And again, when you add 926, 2022, 77. So prepare and plan for the spiritual and natural to come together. If you're prepared, you just don't have anything to worry about at all, right? The Elohim Watchers tie says, right? You don't have anything to worry about at all. But just do not think religious. Because I'm showing you in the Bible where the religious people sold during famine. You need to be thinking business minded. There are more layoffs coming through jobs. You need to have you a business plan. You need to have a business that's going to teach you these tax strategies, the loophole, the cheat code, and the wormhole. Right? Everything you need, because there's 87,000 IRS agents added. Taxes is going to, there are states right now that's saying they're going, like North Carolina, Mississippi, and 3 other states that's saying even with the student loan, they're going to tax that. The states have the right to say that. And I'm reading on my notes, make sure I haven't forgotten anything. And I'm logging off. Yeah. So that's all I have to say. But I'm sorry, I think I said 269. I meant to say, yeah, day of the year is the 269th day of the year. But it also is going to leave September 26th, 96 days of the year left, right? 96 days of the year left. Jacob and Esau, 296. They are twin brothers. Jacob, when the brothers are 77, I broke down 77. Jacob, when the brothers are 77, steals Esau's birthrights. Blessing from their father Isaac. Right? Twins, 296, Twin Towers, Genesis 11, wealth transfer is coming, the Libra, the balance scale, the wealth transfer shift is happening. You want to stay religious and say God will provide, then that's you. But it's a lot of manipulation that has been exposed. One thing, and I'm going to end with this, in Malachi 3, before God told the priests who were to give the tenth, the tithe to the Levites, to invest in the Levites, he told the priests to invest in themselves first. All of this is, if people have given to me, they have been blessed. So, but I'm not going to say firmly that, everyone that gives to me, that God is going to bless them. I know I've had testimonies that people have, and I think, no, I believe God does that because I'm pure in what I teach. I don't teach out of manipulation. I don't teach out of trickery, right? I teach the Bible straight up for what it is. In Malachi 3, God, through the covenant, gave the priests land. He told them to then give 10% to the Levites. God would tell you to sow into your own soil first before you sow into another man. And people, when I tell you that some of these churches will tell you, I'm praying for you. And let me tell you, I'm going to tell you the same thing. Especially if you never gave me a super chat. Don't email me. Don't put anything in the comments. Right? The Bible says Jesus is going to tell some people on Judgment Day, depart from me. I never knew you. Don't even come with me with that. Just because I teach from the Bible. I'm not giving anybody anything. That I'm taking care of me and my household who haven't gave or sold anything into me. But for the most part, people that give to me have gotten their blessings already anyway. And I'm not giving it to anybody that don't give and support to themselves. What I will give you is a business link to help you get additional income and to get your finances in order so you can get assets. If you don't need that, you straight, and you just love support my channel, then we good. We Gucci. We give each other positive energy, and that's all that's due. But in the spirit of revelation, if you all been following me, you know that numbers 111 are my numbers, right? And I saw this in Revelation in this passage. Let me pull it up. And this is all I have to say, because for the last 2 years, I have been faithfully telling you all such a time as this is coming. Also, you got a lot of things going on in crypto, specifically with altcoins. Definitely be aware of what's going on with that. We got Vitalik and ADA changes coming September 22nd. And you have Ethereum. Now, this is not financial advice, but if you have some gains and you know that Shemitah is coming on 9/26, prepare. Also, the most undervalued asset besides some of these blue chip cryptos right now is silver. It's under $25 an ounce, right? So Revelations 1:1 says the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave him to show to his servants the things that must soon take place. That's Revelation 1:1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, and the name Jesus Christ has 11 letters in it, which God gave him to show his servants the things that must soon take place. The only thing that I'm sharing with you all is the thing that God gives me to tell you all that these things will soon take place. And Darryle says it's okay to be religious, but he gave us common sense. A lot of times there are people lean on religious because they want to be lazy. They want to stay in their comfort zone. They don't want change. I don't want to learn about crypto. I just want to struggle for the dollar, and that's their decision. But when you really look at it from the opposite, that this is the greatest wealth transfer that you can have. Why not invest some time in knowledge in yourself? Listen, I said a wormhole is the dimension between where you are and where you want to go. Why not shorten the time period that it'll take you to become a millionaire or a multimillionaire or a billionaire if that's what you want to do? I'm excited about this. I have an opportunity in this lifetime to be a part of that the Bible talks about in Deuteronomy 28, that I give you the power to get wealth. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to get up and learn about cryptocurrency, about God's money, which is silver, and how silver is going to be used to reset this currency system, and RFID chips, because most people think we are advancing to technology. No, we're going back to technology. We're going back to the future, just like the movie said. I cannot wait till I start elaborating more on ancient Egyptians, the source from where the Bible was translated from, because a lot of people have been taught myths and lies. The Bible has been translated so many times. So many times it has been translated, which means changed. But the most common, the most known translation was 1611, 1611, the King James. So when a book has been translated and changed and altered so many times, you have to go back to the original context and the original learning. And that's what I'm doing now, getting that knowledge, because I'm thoroughly convinced that the ancient Egyptians, in order to build the pyramids that they did, they had advanced technology. They had. We're going back to that future. I was watching episodes of the Jetsons, right? I'm probably telling my age right now, but the Jetsons was talking about cryptocurrencies in the 50s and 60s. I've released that video. My Patreon members watch that video. I give you 4 cryptos that the Jetsons was talking about back then in the Patreon. So I'm signing out, you all. Happy Labor Day. I'm gonna figure out what I did with this live stream. We have larger pyramids here in America. Where? What larger pyramids? But anyway, when you really learn about the ancient Egyptians and the energy, and even Nikola Tesla breaking down the 369, all I'm saying is, even Nikola Tesla back in 1800s was predicting these things that's happening now, and a transition from energy. So when people cannot pay utility bills, right? Gas, as we move to this energy transition, and EV and RFID chips and 5G Wi-Fi, silver, I talked about earlier, the yin and the yang, the pineal gland, pituitary gland, the good angel, the bad angel. Everybody has it. Genesis 1 and 2, the greater light to rule the day, the lesser light to rule the night. Silver has 2 sides to every coin. So does a piece of bread, people. But silver is both industrial use and monetary use. And it's the most undervalued hard asset available, undervalued. Somebody told me time is our most precious asset. I don't undervalue my time. I highly value my time. The most undervalued asset right now is silver. Google it. The Great Pyramid of Mexico. Okay. Illinois, Mexico. Okay. But they're not in alignment with the stars. And they don't have that energy alignment that the ancient Egyptians built. But why is that important? Who pyramids are the biggest? I said who did it the first, and where they learn about this technology. And we're going back to the future. People, let's stay focused on the topic of discussion that matters, and how cryptocurrency has been talked about, even in the Jetsons. It doesn't matter to me that America has it. Ancient Egyptians originated. That's my point. I don't care who the biggest. I don't care that. All I care about is the connection with the currency system change. All right. They learn at the Grand Canyon. Okay. That's right. Ecclesiastes, there's nothing new under the sun. I don't care where they learn. That's not my point. You're missing the whole point. I hope you're investing in silver and crypto. I hope you're getting that point out of this, right? King James had his scribes translate from other sources in order to get King James 1611 Bible. And the Bible, the Jesse revealed a lot. And the Bible has other translations. But again, because I know some people going to try to fact check me on this, the 1611 is the most commonly used, right? We need to learn those sources. Yep, it's ancient Egyptian. You all, thanks for tuning in. Be blessed, like and share. And it seems like I'm getting more people commenting and engaging here. So I'll try to live stream this way most of the time, but it's going to take away my ability to share my screen. But I don't know. I just keep switching it up because I'm not on StreamYard and I like to share the screen. But again, the government keeps talking about a corn shortage. Yeah, you're right, Darryle. Oh, yeah, I'm not debating Israel. It's just sometimes people just get off focus and they lose the big picture of what I'm saying about we're going back. This technology is nothing new. This is why people should not be intimidated to learn it and position yourself for the wealth transfer. Right? All right, you all have a great night. If you all work tomorrow for Labor Day, then celebrate your labor by learning about some assets. Have a great night, you all. Be safe. Queen out.